Wait, I feel an evil presence in the Force. Now, with my Jedi powers, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this man is obviously a Star Wars buff. If George Lucas produced some excrement for an hour and a half, I'd think it was fantastic. And yes, that may be true. Now, the best part of the film for me was any part of the film that Darth Maul, the Dark Lord of Sith apprentice, was in. The unfortunate part about Darth is he doesn't get half enough screen time as he should. He comes in like 40 minutes into the movie and then things really start to pick up. Darth Maul's also very talented with the lightsaber. Would you like to show us some lightsaber moves? Let's let the real Darth Maul show some lightsaber moves.
When you was making the Phantom Menace, was it as exciting as when you was making the first three?
Well, I enjoyed making the Phantom Menace a lot. I mean, the first three were very hard. This one was not so hard because I was using new technology that allowed me to create the kind of characters that I wanted to create. I wasn't sort of forced constantly to make a compromise and say, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't. This one I could do whatever I wanted. And that was really a lot of fun.
How do you create the characters and names and things?
Well, I just have a long list of names that I keep, you know, if I think of a name, I put it down in a little book. And in this particular case, my daughter, who's 11, would sit down and she liked to write, so she would write down on a yellow tablet lots of names that she'd make up, and then I'd sort of talk to her about it, and we'd sort of switch them around and add them in.
When you're audition casting for actors, what do you look for? And why do you feel the need to cast unfamiliar faces?
Well, I like the film to be fresh and not feel like it's a film with big movie stars in it. Sometimes I will. I made an exception, like with Samuel Jackson and a few people, but generally I like to keep it fresh. And normally in acting, I'm looking for, you know, actors who are very talented, actors who have a lot of
That sounds like us, okay.
It's all this.
This is us, this sounds like us.
Hi guys, I'm here with Armin Best and he plays Jar Jar Binks. Hi! I can't do the voice that well.
He's embarrassing.
How did the audition go? What did you have to do? Sorry, it doesn't feel that number.
The audition consisted of me just like doing a whole bunch of different kind of movements, and I got into this room with a whole bunch of ILM people, and George Lucas comes in and like directs me to like walk back and forth in this area, and I'm walking back and forth and stuff, and I take all my movements and put it on a computer. And you know, then they looked at it for a little while and they said, okay, cool.
You hear that?
Yeah?
That is the sound of 1,000 terrible things heading this way.
If they find us, they will crush us, grind us into tiny pieces, and blast us into oblivion.
Ah. Your support is well seen. The voice came about, I looked at the character's face and I just thought that's what the character should sound like.
For real, what is it like working with George Lucas, of course?
What is it like? It's amazing. It's an honor. You know, he's a film icon. He's a brilliant man. He's very extremely intelligent. He knows film. He knows his business, and you know, he invented Star Wars. So it's great.
Are you going to be in the next Star Wars film?
I don't know.
Now, Jar Jar Binks has enraged a lot of Star Wars fans, and he enraged me. Enraged me so much that I wanted to throw this lightsaber pen over there. But anyway.
When it comes to actors, before you cast them, do you look at them and think, I think they'll make good dolls? I don't know, I've just got this notion.
No, you don't think about that part.
Okay. Is it possible to be a director of Star Wars and live a normal life?
I live a reasonably normal life, but I don't... part of what happens is you have to accept the fact that there are certain things that come with success, and you have to accept that a lot of it people don't like. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, paparazzi and people that want autographs, and you don't get a lot of privacy sometimes, and you know, a lot of things that aren't so great about this whole thing.
Is that what you miss most?
Yeah, you know, I'd rather be anonymous if I could get away with it.
Okay, now, I understand you have 3 adopted children. How is it being a single parent? How is it to be?
It's very, very hard.
I can imagine.
It's extremely hard to be a single parent, and it's you know, you can understand very quickly if you're a single parent why people get married, because it takes two people to raise a kid. But unfortunately, for many reasons, a lot of people are single parents, and you know, it just physically it takes a lot of energy and a lot of work, and it's especially hard if you have to support yourself and work and raise a child at the same time.
If there was a movie made about your life, what actor would you like to play you, and why?
I don't know. How about Mel Gibson?
Okay.
Because he's so
Why?
ugly.
No! I like Mel.
No.
Open fire! All weapons! Ajax to bring back his body. Flash! Oh, just the man with a man's courage. No, nothing but a man. He can never fail. No one but the golden heart can be broken, yeah.
So that's Neil, nil, Noel, nil. Oh well. Bad luck, chaps.
Wow. That was tense.
What was it that first, because you like mythological type films, what was it that first, you know, these type of mythological type of stories, what is it that attracts you to it?
Well, I'd studied anthropology when I was in college, and I had a whole class in myths, and out of that I became interested in it, and I went to film school, and when I got out of film school and I made a film, I was very interested in sort of continuing the sort of mythological story and using the motifs and everything that I'd learned in college and put them in a kind of Saturday matinee context. So it was out of that Star Wars started.
Okay.
Why do you feel so strongly about myths and things in your films?
Well, it was the idea that myths have always been a way for one generation to communicate to the next generation the kinds of issues that are important, of, you know, what's good, what's bad, how you conduct yourself. The emotional problems you're having aren't unique, and that they're shared by everybody, and these are the ways to get through those, or these are the resolutions or not the resolutions. These kind of things get passed on from generation to generation, and they're especially important for, you know, young people who are dealing with a lot of these problems for the first time as they say to move into the real world.
You know, when I first was introduced to the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, the spacecraft that I flew in Star Wars, no one knew how to fly it. The director had never thought about how to fly it. The art director who built it never thought about how to fly it. So there was nobody to give me instructions.
So you improvised?
I improvise.
I read that you're very careful what you say in your films, and you believe that motion pictures are teachers with very loud voices. Do you see yourself as a teacher?
Quite frankly, I think everybody's a teacher. And everybody needs to accept the responsibility for being a teacher. I mean, if you have brothers and sisters, it's probably very obvious to you that you're a teacher, especially if they're younger than you are.
Yes.
And that they don't do what you say, but they do what you do. And so how you conduct your life, they tend to mimic or use as a way of modeling their behavior. And that goes on all through adulthood. And the more people you come in contact with, or the more people you're able to speak to, the more powerful that aspect of your life becomes.
Is that why you felt the need to set up the Lucas Educational Foundation in 1991?
I started the Educational Foundation when I began to see the possibility of interactive media, when computers were just starting to become known, and I was making movies, and I said, one, I know that educational films can be made better and more entertaining, but when you combine them with computers and you can sort of take whatever piece you want whenever you want it, this could be a powerful learning tool. So I started the foundation to help facilitate how you use high technology in the educational system.
What do you think of, first of all, have you heard about YCT? What do you think about our little organisation giving young people the chance to break into the industry?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's very much needed. And part of what my educational foundation, one of the parts of a modern educational system is to allow young people to have experience in work fields so that they actually get more of a feeling of what's it like to work in the real world, and it's the fastest way to learn a lot of things.
Albie's going to come forward.
Yeah.
He's one of our young members, and we'd like to...
I'd like to invite you to member to YCTV.
An honorary member.
Well,
Because you're not a full member until you actually come to the studio.
Yeah. All right.
You have to come.
You're going to come and see what we're all about.
Okay.
And you have to sign it.
And you have to, yeah.
Oh, cool. I like that. Mr. George Lucas.
It's been a pleasure talking
You've
to you.
done us an honour. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
It's really nice to meet you.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
That was very,
Thank you.
very
Good luck with Phantom
You were the
Menace.
most prepared of all the interviewers
Yippee!
today.
Yes. Thank you.
Our work paid off.
We've just finished the interview with George Lucas. It was great fun. I mean, he answered all our questions. Yes, you shared the joys, the excitement, the adrenaline rush of it all.
It was fun.
And it was fun. And
so until next time, I am Amma Ababresa, of course, and
I'm a Dienwek.
So catch you later.
The Force will be with you, always.
Now, with my Jedi powers, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this man is obviously a Star Wars buff. If George Lucas produced some excrement for an hour and a half, I'd think it was fantastic. And yes, that may be true. Now, the best part of the film for me was any part of the film that Darth Maul, the Dark Lord of Sith apprentice, was in. The unfortunate part about Darth is he doesn't get half enough screen time as he should. He comes in like 40 minutes into the movie and then things really start to pick up. Darth Maul's also very talented with the lightsaber. Would you like to show us some lightsaber moves? Let's let the real Darth Maul show some lightsaber moves. Wait, I feel an evil presence in the Force.